Alright, now this is my third video for the day, but I thought it was relevant, slightly, because I watch the Lotus Eaters a lot, as I'm assuming some of you do, at least some of you. So I actually found this on Sargon's discussion group on Facebook, and it's titled, "Is Sargon Walking into a Trap?" Now, to start off, this is a very unflattering picture. Get something more current, sir. You know better than this. So, let's go read into the article because it brings up a few interesting points about Sargon potentially walking into a trap, and I'll give my commentary afterwards. People think of the left-wing movement as united, but it is actually riddled with hairline cracks that occasionally grow into major fractures. The latest and most obvious of these is a split in feminism between the TERFs and the intersectional lobby. This has become deeply vitriolic as per usual. It should act as a warning. This is just a taste of what would come if the left ever achieved their objectives, God forbid. So we have someone who's slightly sane. They would turn on each other. The intersectional feminists include people like Christy Waters, Kevin Logan, and their community. TERF is an acronym. We know what the acronym stands for: Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, and it includes most of the aging second wavers, plus some younger recruits like J.K. Rowling and Graham Linehan, or Linehan, however you pronounce that. The first time this division reached the attention of people outside directly involved was at the 2018 London Pride event. A group of women barged in at the front of the march with gender essentialist placards and slogans. Their organization was called Keep the L Out, implying that lesbians were unhappy with their treatment within LGBT culture. Sargon of Akkad made a lighthearted video about it. He found the whole rumpus very amusing. "Which side am I backing here?" he chuckled. Well, let me tell you, back when this whole shit started on the liberals, I called it. We are Team TERF. Because real pussy is crazy pussy, and that's just how it goes. So, he also felt satisfaction that his own predictions about the inevitable struggle within the left as they fight over the dwindling supply of victimhood cheesecake came true. Unfortunately, he has changed his position completely since then. Oh, please tell me more. Sargon, real name Carl Benjamin, has left the sidelines and planted his flag with the TERFs, as he should have. Like several others on the dissident right, this is partly because he is such an enthusiastic contrarian, and since 2018, the intersectionals have been granted the establishment position. Also true. The TERFs are now the outsiders. This has sometimes led to what I consider genuine injustice, such as the cancellation of J.K. Rowling. Trans critics have also been arrested and face legal persecution. This is never justified for expressing an opinion. Sargon has done an interview with Posey Parker. We have also seen other TERFs like Julie Bindel and Jermaine Gear, however you pronounce that name as well, being chummy with other dissident writers like Milo Yiannopoulos and Douglas Murray. To be fair to Sargon, he is not merely excrement stirring here. He is also motivated by what he sees as the exploitation and abuse of people with gender dysphoria by trans politics, especially children. And I think he's correct. Now, this is the trap that they're talking about. What Sargon somehow seems to have forgotten is what the RF stands for in TERF. I can't help but worry that he's walking into a trap. Radical feminists do not care about male children, let alone male adults. This strange, new dente, I'm going to assume that's how that word is pronounced, between the TERFs and the dissident right is nothing more than a coalition of convenience. According to the RadFem conspiracy theories, the trans lobby is merely the patriarchy sending its best secret agents with the most convincing undercover identity into women's spaces. White men cause all the problems in the world, and therefore a world without us would be a paradise. This is a very dangerous idea that is unfortunately not very original. History teaches us that when people who feel demographic hatred gain political power, it always ends in atrocity. What the hell is Sargon of Akkad doing supporting these gendercidal maniacs? I fear this pact will end badly. I just hope Sargon learns a lesson from it. Now, I understand the concern, I understand the critique, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. Chill the fuck out. Simple as. Let me explain to you how the TERF movement, the TERF position, and the intersectional lobby battle lines have been drawn. Posey Parker has made videos asking men, as men, to go into female restrooms armed to protect women. If this has become the radical feminist position, God fucking speed. It is not radicalizing the TERFs in making them more radically feminist. It's making them more human. The radical feminists, by the invasion of the T's, as we affectionately call them, have shifted the radical feminists to the center. It has not radically turned us to their position, and the only way this can happen is for the radical feminists to change. And that is happening. Now, Posey Parker is not blaming all men for her plight. She is begging for more men to step in and fight back against it. That's why, listening to your concerns, I'm telling you, it's not a concern. The solution is fixing itself. The radical feminists are de-radicalizing by realizing, hey, we have to fight to be women now. And that's a good thing. It is a good thing that the TERFs and their radical feminism have wandered themselves back to the center by realizing being feminine matters, because it has never been a patriarchal position. It has never been a mainstream position. It has never been a modern position that women were ever interchangeable with men, nor was that the ideal position. We know that when societies are optimized, when they're completely egalitarian, that gender differences do not disappear. They intensify. When men and women have a choice to become who and what they wish to become, they choose to become men and women more strongly. So the fact that the radical feminists are de-radicalizing, which is exactly what's happening, I don't think we have to fear the radicalization of people who are being dragged back to the center by reality, by biology, by realizing that, holy shit, if this shit gets out of hand, I'm going to be in physical danger. Here, men, please help me. That's a good message, and it's an angle that needs to be leveraged more. It would be a little advantageous if we were to look back at the TERFs and say daddy louder. Say it louder. Okay, now we'll step in. That's the only thing that needs to change, is men need to take a step back and realize their position in this arrangement. Go, you want men? Now, we'll give it to you. Just say it louder. All right, ladies? Say it louder. That's all we need to do. Because they're not changing us. We are changing them. Reality is reshaping their ideology. And these fringes that think that it's a male patriarchy invading women's spaces, no one takes them seriously. And I wouldn't be so stupid as to lump J.K. Rowling or Posey Parker in with that stupidity. That is not what's happening here. So, those are my thoughts on this this really big brain take on Carl Benjamin siding with the TERFs. The fact remains that real pussy is crazy pussy, and that's just what we as men have to deal with forever. As always, everyone, stay carnal and God bless.